What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another post-match fan show, or shall I say another an hour to 2 hours of Tottenham therapy coming your way. Everton 2, Tottenham 2. And that is it for our top four hopes. I know we've said it many times this season, but this is really
never-ending end to the top four.
This is really it. This is really it. But look, let's, without further ado, get Grandpa on. Let's hear what he has to say. Grandpa.
Hi, Grandpa.
Hi.
Good to see you.
First of all, let's start off with some positives, and let's see how excited are you to go to the cup final next week.
Well, I'm excited about going to the cup final. That's a positive. To have got a ticket is a positive.
Yeah, it's true.
I didn't realise I had enough points, but I did. So it's brilliant. So I'm excited about that. I think the other positive is that we hit the woodwork twice.
Yeah, wow.
So you know, if anybody's keeping score of the woodworks, I'm sure we'll be winning the battle of woodworks, which in a way means that we've got a lot of near misses. I thought I was just really disappointed. I thought that the way he set it up as a 3-5-2 was the right thing to do. But if you're going to do that, if you want to keep control of the centre, which is exactly what he did with two wing backs. So it's pretty defensive players he put in there. Mm-hmm. You've got to hold on to the ball. If you don't hold on to the ball, the missed passes were unbelievable. Mm-hmm. You know, Dombele. I mean, really, he is other than his great pass for the goal. He was throwing the ball away all the time. Even Son was, Hobier was. You know, it was that was really the sad thing, and like the last two matches, not to have Lamela on from the start was such a mistake. Soon as he came on, they were holding the ball, and he was running through with the ball, and he was taking the ball off the other players. He's a fantastic player this year, and not to play him again, I was absolutely amazed.
You might be even more upset, Grandpa, because it looks like he might be sold this summer as well.
Yeah. Well, I will be. And Mora again. As soon as Mora came on, he played well. We just had a whole defensive five. We had two wing backs in there, I know, but they were all defensive players. And you know, Dyer, that is Dyer sometimes. I think Rondon was the only one that was showing any flair.
At the back,
But you've got to hold on to that ball in the centre pack. If you're going to put five people there, you've got to hold on to the ball. You can't let it. You can't miss any passes at all, and that's what happened. And we didn't play too bad first half of the first half, and we didn't play too bad somewhere in the middle of the second half because we were holding on to the ball. But otherwise, it was very, very annoying.
Grandpa, how's that scorecard of yours going this game? You said Lucas Lamela. Apart from Harry Kane, did anyone else get any positive marks from you?
None at all. None at all.
That tells the story, doesn't it?
Reguilon made two good run-throughs, but he was also giving the ball away.
Yeah, every time.
He wasn't playing well. So no. I think I probably give a little bit of a plus to Lloris.
He made a few good saves. Yeah,
I think he made some good saves, and that their second goal particularly was a brilliant goal.
It was
really well worked through, and I wouldn't blame any of our players there. But they should have been closer. They should have been tight. He shouldn't have been allowed to run round.
Yeah. Do you think maybe? Yeah, I agree. I think you've hit the nail on the head in terms of when you play that formation, there's no need for having Sissoko in there when you have all that protection at the back. Why do you need that extra defensive midfielder? We could have put in a Lo Celso in there or a Dele Alli or something like that to kind of allow us to keep possession because we're playing such a defensive.
Why not Lamela?
Or Lamela, yeah. Or Lamela or Bale. Because we've got such a, we've got three centre-backs, we've got two full-backs there, we've got another defensive midfielder with Højbjerg already there. Why do we need a second defensive midfielder? And that was a big problem. And that's why we look so poor. There's a big reason, I thought, why we look so poor on the ball. But, with 6 games to go now, we've now played a game more than all our top 4 rivals. We're 5 points off West Ham in 4th.
And Kane may be injured.
Oh, Kane may be injured, but I just want to say good news in terms of Harry Kane did tweet just now. Didn't say whether he's injured or not, just saying like disappointed with a point, and I'm looking forward to this week. So he kind of doesn't seem.
Oh, right.
Seems positive
That's
that
good
he's going to be
news.
playing.
That's good news.
But is that for you now? With 6 games to go, 18 points to play for, can you really see us, even if West Ham lose, making up the points at this point?
No, I don't. They've got to play for us, and they're not going to. And Everton are still a threat as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't see us in the top 4. But let's go for that. Let's go for that final. It's a pain that we've got Southampton. When's Southampton? Thursday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. You know, we'll have to play a weaker team, and we've got to save our best team for the cup now.
You think just rest players? Yeah, give up on the league.
Yeah. You won't give up, because it'll give a good opportunity for some of the up and coming players to show their form for next year, and for us to decide who's going to go and who's not going to go. Apparently, some good young players coming on.
Yeah,
it might be a good chance to give them a run out for the next 6 or 7 matches, but certainly against Southampton, because the only thing that can hold Kane there is probably to win that cup. And Mourinho's behaving very strangely, isn't he? I mean, I don't know if you heard him after the match. I mean,
no, I missed it. What did he say?
Well, nothing really. He just he said no comment on the penalty. I mean, it was a penalty.
You thought it was?
Yeah.
A lot of people said it wasn't.
Yeah. In the end, when you saw the real close-ups at the end, all the pundits on said it was. Even the Spurs guys. It was a close penalty, but he definitely, hit his muscle just as he was kicking the ball, and he banged his foot into the ground. So he had to be classed. If he hadn't kicked him in the muscle and the back of the leg, he would have had a good shot.
But Grandpa, in terms of Jose Mourinho, do you reckon he's coming to the end of the road?
I think he's almost behaving like that's where he is. And I'm going to enjoy the money that I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Because I've always thought he plays for that. But this time I think he's behaving strangely, I thought. He really said nothing. He really didn't. He said, "Oh, I better be positive, hadn't I? I better try and be positive." But he didn't say anything positive at all. He felt it was all okay.
In my opinion, I think it's really coming to the end of the road for Jose. I'm not sure how we can survive this season. I really don't.
Not at this rate.
Well, what survive? Well, we'll survive. We won't go down.
No, I'm talking about him, Jose.
Oh, him. No. But there's some talk about Poch coming back, isn't there?
Oh, well,
he only just joined
please,
PSG.
Don't get me excited. Don't give me false hope, Grandpa, like that. Don't do me like that. So we can only dream of such scenarios at this point.
Exactly. We can only dream of Poch coming back. But Grandpa, absolute pleasure as always.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers, and let's look forward to next week. Let's
looking forward to
finish up with some smiles.
Yeah. Exactly. So. Positive as always from my Grandpa. Thanks a lot for coming on. Who have we got next? Alex.
Hey guys.
Samuels. Yes, Alex. How
We've
you doing,
got
mate?
Sheriff Alex from the chat. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you guys?
Yeah, hanging in there, man. Hanging in there.
Yeah.
In terms of the performance today, what did you make out of
that? First half was setup was just weird, I think. We wanted Alderweireld and Rodon in defence, and he gave us Dyer as a plus with it. So that's great.
He never gives us what we want, exactly what we want, Jose. There's always a sprinkling of his edge on it as well.
Yeah,
I love of brassness.
Yeah. I love the Son left wing back throwback with Lucas Moura. This time
it kind of worked, didn't it? Lucas the left wing back. It did kind of work as much as you wanted to clown on him for that.
Yeah, that did make me smile quite a bit during the game. But yeah, look, I'm to be honest, I just have so much apathy towards the team at the moment.
Yeah.
It's all about. I mean, I've been saying for weeks now, don't get the hopes up about the cup final, etc., etc. But that's literally all we've got. That's it. So might as well
literally
get
your hopes
all
up,
the
Alex.
hopes up. Exactly, because it is just downhill from there. Honestly,
We got to find some positivity from somewhere, eh?
Exactly. But look, I'm gonna be honest. After the cup final, I want him gone. I want him out the club.
I'm with you, Alex.
Literally, as soon as as the full-time whistle's gone, I want him sacked because I'm so done with this manager at this point. He has realised all of our worst fears, and he's doing nothing to just make us believe in this team. The players, everything from all the media outlets saying, "Oh, they're still playing for him." I don't see Hugo Lloris, Sir Jory, and others laughing at full time. They I don't know if they care. Hugo Lloris probably does. I don't know, but I know maybe that's a bit too critical, but I don't know. It's time and a place. This was meant to be.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it wasn't a good look, especially when our top four hopes pretty much went up in smoke tonight. In terms of really did confirm any lingering hopes. It's a bit like the Sheffield United game last season. Any kind of lingering, even like we went into that Sheffield United game last season knowing we're probably not going to get top four, but we're still in there. And I think after that defeat, everyone was like, okay, this confirms it. And I think today is really like, even before today, you're like, if we get a win, we're still in there. But I think. It really is. That's it. I think top four, especially West Ham. Even if they draw or win, they're going to be just too far ahead with 6 games left.
West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham.
Come on.
Bloody Ham. Come on, man.
Like how far? I'll read you out something. Commenting on the appointment of Jose Mourinho, chairman Daniel Levy says, "In Jose, we have one of the most successful managers in football. Wealth experience, can inspire teams, and is a great tactician. He's won honours at every club, and we believe he'll bring energy and belief to the dressing room. If he doesn't win that cup final, he's achieved nothing out of that. So there is absolutely no excuse why he would still be at the club because he is completely hasn't fulfilled anything that we've asked of him. He's on about £280,000 a week, and he can't inspire this group of players. I do not understand. I don't get it, and I've really tried with Mourinho this season. I've really even last season I was really trying to give it a go, hop on the bandwagon, but I just can't anymore. I'm so done with him. It is time to move on. If that means Kane has to leave as well, because every single week now Kane gets a couple of goals and our defense lets us down every week, and it was just down to 2 mistakes today. 2 Everton mistakes is why we scored those 2 goals, and we created nothing else. So. Honestly, if that's the price we pay for perhaps this team advancing and not hiding behind Kane anymore, then so be it. Actually, because I'm past caring, to be honest. This team has let us all down this season. They keep saying we care, we'll do better.
What annoys me in the last minute, when there's like a minute to go, and we're like the ball goes out for throw in the Everton attacking third, and we're just ambling to the ball, no urgency. It's like we're fine for a point. We don't really care if we win or not. Yeah. Aurier's just strolling up to the ball and like, oh, should I take it? No, you take it.
And then Dele just jumps, throws it, leaves it for Aurier. Aurier's just taking his time.
Like, is there any sort of urgency? Like, we need to win this game to stay in the top 4. Does anyone care if we get Champions League?
And
I think that little clip at the end kind of plays into that as well. And I think that's probably a bit telling. I mean, obviously it's harsh to judge player interactions after a game where they've seen a friend who from international duty or whatever, and they want to.
Why don't you go in the tunnel? Keep it behind closed doors. You know what I mean? Don't keep it out in the open and show how you're laughing and joking when we're bloody disgracing ourselves on the pitch week in, week out. It's a fucking joke. I've had enough of this team. I've had enough of this manager. I really have, and it's driving me insane, all these lot. They really are.
Honestly, I love the club, but this team is becoming very unlikable, actually. Very unlikable. And I haven't said that about the Tottenham team for a very, very long time. And when you get to that point, because you can't get rid of all the team at once. It's just not possible. So, and at the end of the day, I blame them just as much as Jose Mourinho. Absolutely, just as much, because they threw Pochettino onto the bus. Clearly, I bet you go back and ask some of those players, the ones who you could maybe say were had some responsibility for Poch's sacking, turned the dressing room against him, asked them if they'd want him back now. I wonder what they'd say. I'd wonder what they'd say, you know?
They would all jump at the chance.
Exactly. Look at what I bloody hope Pochettino goes and wins the Champions League with PSG, because honestly, egg on their face, Enoch will have egg on their face, and I actually can't wait to see that, to be honest, because I'm fuming. You know, it will just show what Poch can do. And I know people don't like it when we Tottenham fans now talk about Pochettino, but when you're assessing what has happened over the past couple of years and the demise of this club, falling further and further behind. We let Liverpool overtake us. We've let West Ham overtake us. And we let Chelsea, who were in a very, very bad position a couple of years ago, they're now overtaking us again. Look,
we didn't take advantage of the position we created for ourselves. We put ourselves right in that top four. We put ourselves in a really strong position to really continue to compete. We built a really decent team, and now it's all fallen apart. It's all fallen apart, and it's fallen apart before our very eyes.
There's only one person to blame for that, and that is the board. Well, many people on the board, but one element to blame, and that is the board, unfortunately. Look,
I think sorry, you go.
No, I was just about to say we should have kicked on when we bloody had the chance. We were one of the best teams in England. We had the best team, the best defence in England. Now we've got one of the worst defences in England.
Yeah, they're trying to create the vision of the club is the problem. They're trying to create a sustainable club, sustainable business model. But in football, I'm sorry, that just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's time and time again we've seen it. Alan Sugar tried to do that, and he absolutely failed, and even said that he failed to do that. It doesn't work in football, sustainable business model. And you know, when you fall behind, look at Arsenal, you fall behind hard. You really do. And I'm worried we could. I truly do. So look, yeah.
Nice one, Alex.
All right, Alex. Well, I hope you got everything you need to get off your chest, and you can sleep well tonight.
No, thanks, guys. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'll see you midweek. For Southampton, I think.
Good to see you, Alex, mate. And we move on.
We got a super chat from Brad Matthews. Oh.
All right, let's get Eden Cooper. Oh,
all right. Super chat from Brad Matthews.
Sorry, Eden.
He says, sorry, Jose has to go. Totally agree with Alex. Did you notice Harry didn't seem too bothered about scoring? Spot on, Alex. They don't care. And also, let's just look at this. Can you look at this tweet quickly? Is that all right?
Just before you read out this tweet, I think someone in the background has the YouTube playing. If you could turn it off or put it on silent, that'd be great.
Yeah, here is there was a little. That's what people were angry about. Lloris and Aurier having a bit of a laugh and a joke at full time with Luca Dean just after the full time.
What professional players are laughing, joking, and smiling when you've just failed on your objective in a season? Who?
It's like they don't really care that we've like pretty much blown ourselves out of the top four race tonight.
I've had enough. I want all those players out, man. I want them all
if
out.
Anyone else want to send us in more tweets or tag us in some tweets to react to, let us know on Twitter at WeAreTottenhamTV. Any opinions or content, you can tag us on Twitter and we can react to it live on the show. But yeah, let's move on to Eden Cooper.
All right, Eden. Yes, Eden. How's it going, mate?
All good?
Yeah, all good. How you doing?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay. I just finished watching another 90 minutes of our wonderful squad. Yeah, I want to. You mentioned about Lloris and Aurier joking, and I think that was disgraceful. I was watching the game, then I saw that, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Harry Kane was like limping off the pitch, disappointed, and then you see Lloris, Aurier, Reguilon was talking with Rodriguez. I mean, it's okay to have friends outside of your team. That we know that's obviously the thing, but to show it in front of the cameras, laughing and joking, I think it's a bit disrespectful for us.
Yeah, you know, especially as we've just pretty much thrown away our objectives of the season in top four. And, you know, you would expect the players to be somewhat pissed off with themselves, somewhat downhearted. But when you see them joking and laughing around on the pitch like that, straight after, seconds after the final whistle was gone, I mean, it's really, really hard to take. It really is. And
it is. I agree.
Anyway,
yeah, and I would like just to thank Harry Kane once again, our saviour this season. As you said when you were saying during the stream, you said we don't deserve you. Then you corrected yourself and you said, you deserve us, but you don't deserve everyone that's around you. And I think that was spot on, because I think us fans, we deserve 11 Harry Kanes on the pitch, but the rest of the club just doesn't deserve him. And honestly, if he leaves, as we said, we can't blame him, but it just shows how much I think he cares, and he tries every game to pull us through, but then the same clowns just let him down and let us all down.
Yeah, exactly. And then Harry Kane, let's say he did walk off the pitch at the end of the game. Do you really think if he sees one of his mates from the England setup, he's going to be laughing and joking with him on the pitch after the game?
No, absolutely not.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
And
that
he's
shows
the
the
captain
mentality of the man.
He would have every right to do that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in terms of, first of all, let's talk about the game. Where do you think, in terms of the setup, we start with that back five, and Sissoko and Højbjerg as well. Was that just a completely wrong setup from Jose at the start? Because we looked so much better once Lamela and Lucas did come on.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure if it was wrong or right, but it looks like he doesn't want to play Toby and Rodon in the back four for some reason. He thinks putting Dyer there is going to help and get rid of Lo Celso or put Lamela or Lucas. I don't get it, honestly. But I don't think the formation was the problem, because if you think about it, Everton are a very physical team, and yeah, you mentioned the FA Cup game where we went all out of attack. At the end we lost, but I think that was a different kind of game. It was a cup game. So I don't blame Jose too much for the formation, but probably the personnel, because Sissoko, honestly, he didn't do anything. The only thing Sissoko is good at, and he's shown in his Spurs career, is running down the pitch, getting back possession. And did you see him do that once today? I honestly didn't. And yeah, Dyer still in the squad. I don't know what he's doing. He didn't have the worst game today, actually, but I just keep playing him. It just annoys me. So yeah, I think the formation wasn't too bad. Like, we could have played well with a 5-3-2, which or 3-5-2, whatever. But I think I would have put Gio instead of Sissoko, and probably, I don't know, if you're gonna have to play a back three. I mean, Dyer's the only one. Better Dyer than Sanchez, in my opinion. So yeah, I think Sissoko was the biggest mistake to play in.
Agreed.
All right, Eden. We roll on to Southampton and then the cup final. All we can do is stay positive and keep believing, if anyone still does believe, that is.
We just have to play the games as they come and hope we make a miracle in the cup final. I know you guys are going to be there, so cheer up for us, for the We Are Tottenham TV family, and all the Spurs fans that would love to be there. And bring the cup back home, lads.
We'll do our best, man. We'll do our best. If we do bring it home, we'll sit it right on this table for you guys.
I wish.
Yeah.
But Eden, thanks a lot for coming on, man. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you. I'll see you on Wednesday, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Come on.
All right, see you later, mate. Let's keep going. It's going to be a long night, people. We got Marcelo. Come on, Marcelo. Give me a bit of hype, man. Please, something. I think you're on mute. There you are.
I said, bro, not even like, whatever religion you believe in, but not even Jesus himself can, revitalize that squad, and that nothing can help this season, man. That was shocking. Like, let's be real here. That was really, I couldn't believe what I was watching, man. That first half was unbelievable. I mean, great goal by Harry Kane. I mean, Harry Kane, you guys said it perfectly. He deserves us, but he doesn't deserve to be around that, that clown squad. I told you about Lloris, man. I said it, like, everybody came out, but Lloris is the only one that cares. He's saying about that whole thing in Zagreb. I'm like, this guy doesn't care. He doesn't care. Don't take his words too seriously. He's leaving the club anyways. And look at that. He does. He goes in there, takes the piss out of the whole fan base, laughing and smiling while we're all, out here sad and crying I mean, bro, I saw Cody Mac cry in the post-match, with Matty Hayes, man. Cody Mac is like, Cody Mac doesn't deserve to be crying, man. Cody Mac is like one of my favorite fans, man. And, the guy is crying. And then, Hugo Lloris, Aurier, they're all, buddies. Yeah. Then you got Eric Dyer saying, oh, I want my ashes spread on the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium because he's such a legend. He's like the next Ledley King. Honestly, seriously, bro, are these guys doing drugs? Like, honestly, Eric Dyer, please, please, please. Give me your dealer, bro, because I need that shit right now, bro. Because this is painful. This is starting to hurt, bro. Like it's really starting to hurt. Like the football is dead, bro. Like everything is dead. No running off the ball. Like there's no movement. It's just stale, lethargic. We're just sitting back. We're playing like. What is Jose Mourinho thinking, bro? Like, is he on drugs himself? Is he taking what Dyer's taking, man? Putting Eric Dyer and Sissoko on the team. How many times are you going to learn your lesson, bro? Like, how long is this going to go for? Like, I can't believe it, man. It's like this guy has I know we said about the whole thing with Pochettino first season, right? He almost got sacked, but I'll tell you this, man. Maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe my memory is fixing me wrong, but I remember Pochettino first season. I saw style, I saw a game plan. Even though it didn't work, he still, stood by his game plan, stood by his style, stood by his, his philosophy. While it's almost like with Jose Mourinho, it's like, it's spin the wheel, bro. Next week, Dyer's playing. Next week, Toby's playing. Next week, I'm playing. Next week, it's going to be Ben at strike. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, bro. Like,
it feels like it's Russian roulette every week. Russian roulette.
It's Russian roulette. It's Russian roulette. Yeah, bro. It's Russian roulette time, baby. Like, that's the Jose system. It's like, no. You got to be ruthless. Remember in the beginning of the season, I was like, yes. Jose, he's finally figured out his starting 11. He's gonna weed out the dead wood. He's gonna continue with this squad. Like the thing about Pochettino is, right? You remember his first season. He came in. He said, "These guys will play for me. These guys won't play for me." And no matter what, he never let those guys play for him. The Adebayors, all those guys, he never played them, bro. As soon as he realized they weren't part of his system, he was ruthless, cutthroat, took them out, bro. Jose Mourinho needs to do that. He doubled down. He let the media get to his head, man. You know what I mean? He tried to be the Mr. Nice guy, giving everybody a chance. You can't do that with this squad. You got to be cutthroat. You got to cut connections. And you got to play the players you can trust 110%. And if they get injured, you know what? I said it. Play the youngsters. That's what Arteta did. And guess what? If he wins today, he's going to be 2 points behind us. And he's in a Europa semifinal. I said it. This is what Jose needed to do at the beginning of the season. Cut ties with the deadwood. Play the Sirkin. Play any of the youngsters. I said this in the beginning of the season, Ben. I said it what he needed to do, and he didn't do it, and he played the deadwood. And I predicted that this was going to happen because you can't play these deadwoods, because when you freeze out your main players and you freeze out the players that wants to play for you for the deadwood, you're going to start losing those players. And now he's losing those players, and now he has nobody he can trust. It's only Harry Kane and Son that he can trust. He can't trust, and Oyberg. He can't trust nobody else because he's frozen them all out.
Do you think a lot of the players think they can outlast Jose? I think by their actions on the pitch, you think they're just waiting to outlast him, a lot of them?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Do you think a lot of the players are just waiting to outlast Jose, thinking he's not going to be here for too much longer?
Well, yeah, because there's nobody that wants to play for him because he cut ties from everybody else. He cut ties. You can't do that. Listen, when you come into a squad that is in the situation that Spurs are, where there's too many deadwoods and there's a lot of toxicity in the board, you gotta stand firm and you gotta stand your ground as a manager. You look at Pochettino, he did that. Arteta did that. Listen, bro, remember how many times Arsenal fans were screaming for Arteta to play Mesut Ozil? Remember that? They were like, they couldn't find any creativity and nothing. What did Arteta do? He said, nope. I'm not playing Mesut Ozil. He will come out of this club. You either sack me or, you trust me. It's either one, bro.
He did make it easy for him from taking you out of the squad day one.
No, he did. But like but bro, like, and you know, I hate giving that guy credit, bro, because you know, but like he did the right thing, and this is a guy that has no experience in managing a club. Like that's why I'm making the comparison, because Arteta has no experience in managing a club, and yet he has done more better man management than fucking Jose Mourinho. How has Jose Mourinho let this happen is beyond me, bro. He should know better than anyone. Didn't do this. He dug his own grave here at Spurs, man. He dug his own grave. He should have stood strong. No, he fell from the media. He fell for, you know, he said, "Oh, I'm a changed man. I'll try to do this." Like, you can't please everybody, bro. Like, that's a sad reality in football. That's a sad reality. You can't let the media distract you. Can't let the fans distract you. You got to do what you think is right. That's a simple matter of fact. And the issue is now we're fucked, man. The issue now is we fucked because this board, this group of players do not want to play for Jose. And then when Jose goes, you know, Son and Kane, they're probably gonna go. So, you know, and then, you know, it's gonna be the dark days, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna need to get a real manager that can, you know, can do some real miracles, man. Like really, like I'm talking about a Ten Hag. Honestly, Ten Hag could be, you know, he could be the only savior of this club. If I'm going to be honest, you know, get Oliver
You think
playing.
he's the real answer, Ten Hag?
Honestly, I think so. I think right now, yes. I think right now, next season, if the things go the way I predicted, I think next season, yes. I think Ten Hag could be the answer for the club because I think we're going to depend on a lot of the youngsters. Because honestly, I don't think we're going to spend as much as you think, Ben. We're not.
We don't think we're going to spend anything. So
exactly. So we're not going to
No.
spend. We're going to need to rely on the youngsters because we can't rely on the deadwood. So we need somebody that can work with youngsters. So we need Ten Hag, man. I'm telling you, he's the guy. He's the G.
All right, Marcelo. Well, Ten Hag was the guy I said originally just before Jose came in. So maybe there was something to it. But look, Marcelo, absolute pleasure getting you on. I mean, I can feel your pain. We can all feel your pain.
I didn't even celebrate that second goal, bro. That's
too.
how dead it was.
Me too.
I didn't even celebrate
exactly
it.
the same, man.
It's just
the
dead,
only
man.
goal I haven't celebrated this season because it's just so dead.
You knew because you know it's not gonna turn into anything. That's the thing that kills you, man. It's like even when we scored the first goal, I wasn't even that happy because you just know you just know deep down inside it's not gonna amount to anything. It's just dead.
Marcelo, would you take a Bielsa?
I would. Just for the pretty football. Just for the pretty football, bro. You know, I mean, I know I put out that tweet, but that was just more for fun, you know. Let the master take over the apprentice, you know, something. That'll be, you know, imagine the headlines, you know.
Oh, that tweet was from you. Yeah, it was a good tweet.
yeah. But come on, you Spurs. Listen, we still got the cup final. 90 minutes of.
Come on, Marcelo. All right. Anything? Any tweets or super chats or anything?
Yeah, there was a super chat from Tinman007. He says, "Ben, you're spot on. We had a great chance to push on with a great team, and they showed zero ambition. And now we are seeing how it's unfolding."
All right, let's get LA Ian on. Ian, are you on mute?
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
We're good?
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Talk to me, Ian. Kind of describe that shit show for me.
I'm broken right now. I mean, what the fuck did we just watch? There was one point in the game, I think it was around the 50th minute, we just started halftime, where Eric Dyer, our midfield was so bad and so uncreative, we could not link a pass together. Eric Dyer had to be the one making runs through the middle of the box.
Yeah.
What is going on? Right now, this game was the first. I mean, I was blind to it before. Our midfield is not as good as we thought it was.
Is it a case that our midfield, the players are not good enough in midfield, or is it a case that the coaching and the positional play and all that kind of stuff is not good enough?
It is, as like the answer to almost every question we're being asked right now. It's a little bit of both. First of all, Sissoko, he's that man. Honestly, when I've done better with Winks in midfield, seriously, there was one time I saw Sissoko made a run, and it was a nice run actually. It was a nice 1-2 with whoever's on the right side there. Maybe it was RA or whatever, and that was it. He didn't do anything the rest of the game. I do not know why. These guys, they're professional footballers. They could not stream some of the touches and Dombele had tonight. were way off. Like it was just so easy to intercept. Højbjerg was okay. I mean, he made the passes he needs to make, a little bit side to side, but not because he's deciding to side to side, because no one's moving around. That was so bad. I'm gonna lose it. We also tonight is how much we showed that we missed out on Eriksen, because the rare times that we did get near the 18-yard box, no creativity whatsoever. At least we could have had someone, if with Eriksen, he could see something that someone else didn't see, and we have a chance. But that was horrible. I was more upset about this game, a tie, than I was with the loss with Man U. So at least Man U's in second place.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what is it? What is
guys,
it with
I'm
Jose that, you know, if you look at our starting 11 today, with pretty much 5 at the back, with 2 defensive midfielders as well, with Sissoko and Højbjerg also in the midfield, like a very, very pragmatic defensive kind of setup you saw in that team. And then you look at how bad we were in possession, like awful, like we couldn't keep the ball. We had such a lack of quality on the ball whenever anyone was trying to make a quick pass or a through ball or anything. Such a big lack of possession. But then you look to our bench and there's Lo Celso, Lucas, Dele, Lamela, Bale. Like, what kind of excuse could Jose have, like, for not using his players when we look so bad on the ball, on the pitch?
100%. I think Lo Celso was Lo Celso on the bench? He was on the bench, correct? He should have been on. It takes for someone if you watch the game for a year, you know that midfield was dead. It was dead. You needed to change it up. Something. I don't care. Our best midfielder was Højbjerg. At least change something. Bring him out for some reason. Just change it up. It was so lackluster. We needed creativity or a change, and none of that happened. We had zero. And what you guys were saying earlier, our players were laughing at the end of the game. They were laughing.
What was going through your head when you saw that? What's going through your head when you see that?
I saw the tweet and I was, how could you be laughing? They're international teammates. Okay, whatever. Sure, whatever.
That's no excuse.
Your club that you're playing for is going down the table. We're going to go down. We're not going up. Not anymore. No. We are not going up the table the rest of the season. We're going to go down or stay where we are. There's no way we're improving. Your club is failing at the moment as to the standards that we expect us to be at. We are failing at our standards. We need to be in the Champions League. We need to be challenging for Champions League. That's the ultimate goal, is it not? We want to be challenging for titles. We are so far away from that, and you're laughing that we just drew with Everton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that fire that was in the 2015, 16, 17 squad? Where is it? Obviously, we had a different manager.
There's no fight.
And then we lost it. We lost it in the 2018 season. But it's still there in them. It has to be. It has to be in them.
Ian, where does this leave Jose for you?
Listen, okay, this is the one more thing. I don't want to take too long because I know there's other people waiting. But I'm the type of guy where you make a pro and cons list, and if there's 99 pros and 100 cons, you got to pick. Sorry, the other way around. If there's 100 pros and 99 cons, you got to pick the cons list. And I hate to say it. If Jose we know that Kane and Son, they're Jose men. They listen to him. It's been reported. They respect him and they believe in him. If Jose goes, Kane and Son go. If Jose, Kane, and Son are not at our club and we're not in the top 4, okay, let's say we buy some players in the summer. Who is going to come? Who? No Jose Mourinho. Despite as many people think he's finished, Jose Mourinho's name still means something. Jose Mourinho, Harry Kane, Son Heung-min. Who will come play for us if we have no top 4 and none of those people? I know people are going to hate me for this. And Jose's going to cost money. I do believe we have to keep him. I know it sounds crazy. I'm just as unhappy as the rest of you guys are with the style of play and the results. Last week I was Jose in. Now, don't know. But when you look at that pro and cons list, I do think the pros outweigh the cons. And it's just barely. I mean, so close. We are barely there.
The thing is, with Kane and Son, it's just speculation. We don't know any concrete facts about that.
I agree. It is speculation, and obviously we have COVID, and there's very few teams who have the buying power to get them. if I do believe though, if Jose goes, Kane and Son, I think they have no more faith in Levy and Enoch to bring in someone that'll take them what they deserve over the line. I just don't think it's there.
Yeah.
But surely if Jose stays, they'll be thinking the same thing because this club ain't going in the right direction.
We can't. We are in. I guess that's how Man United fans felt. We are in a pickle. Any direction we choose to go, I think, is going to be a negative choice for a little while until hopefully we have some players that can bring us back up and have some passion for the club, for the badge on your chest. It's how are you laughing? I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm rambling.
We feel your pain, Ian.
Ian,
we feel your
pain. We're 100% on the same page as you. We can feel your pain. I mean, we're all going through it. We're all in it together.
If we lose that cup final, he's being sacked immediately.
All right, Ian. Thanks for coming on, man.
Nice one, Ian.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully, we can take up some form.
Tottenham till we die.
Tottenham till I die.
We got a super chat from Vam Chitty. Says today trusted players and Ndombele and General were very poor. The midfield is key to win games. You guys say Jose Mourinho out and players out. Practically only one thing will happen. Which one you choose?
It's a hard one. It's a very hard one because I feel we're so screwed because you keep Jose Mourinho. He knows who he wants to wean out. He knows who he wants to keep. If you sack Jose Mourinho, a new manager will have to take time to work that out again. Mm-hmm. So we're stuck with the same. I think we're fucked either way, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just annoying because I've been a big defender of Jose Mourinho for a large part of the season, and I've been on his side like a lot of the time when people have criticised him for style of play and things like that. But when I see the bench we had today and I see the starting 11 and I see the performance we put in, like you can't leave out the quality that we did on the bench if you're going to be playing like that on the pitch with the players that we have. Like when you can't string two passes together and you have serious quality on the bench there and you're not using them and then you're putting these horrific performances on, especially on the ball. There's just a serious lack of quality on the ball. Then it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. I can't defend that. And then every time it just changes when we're losing. We're losing and then it changes. We bring on a couple of players and then we look better. Happens every single time. Yeah. And I just can't understand how Mourinho isn't learning from the mistakes he's making at the moment, which is frustrating for me to say because at the beginning of the season when we had that game against West Ham and against Newcastle a few times, even up to like January when we had that game against Fulham, we in those games where we didn't kill off teams and we conceded late, I was like, we'll learn from these lessons. Okay, we conceded, but we played well and we'll learn from it. We just haven't. We have not learned from it the whole season long. And that is the most frustrating thing for me throughout the season is we've had lessons to learn and we haven't been able to learn from them. And it keeps coming back to bite us. And if it's taken this long to learn a lesson, like when will he learn? That's the group question. Or is he just too stuck in his ways? Like I can't.
That's what I feel he is. I feel he is too stuck in his ways. I feel that his man management skills are dinosaur. And to be honest, I for one, I'm firmly. I don't want Jose here anymore. I just don't want it. I think that this grey cloud has descended upon this club, and this happens everywhere Jose goes. Usually, it happens with some trophies along the way, not at Tottenham.
Classic. Let's get the Joracle on. Maybe he can shed some light into the trouble we are in at the moment as a club. Jory, nice to see you as always. Pleasure to have you on again.
Hey guys. Nice to see you too, guys. A lot nicer than watching our team at least. Eh?
Tell me your thoughts right now on the current situation, Joe. I want to know your thoughts, how you analyse things.
Yeah, so once again, I'm flattered by my new nickname, the Jericho and all that, but I wish I wouldn't have been this spot on in my predictions because, what we saw at the end of the game tonight was just laid out for us. It was the French mafia with the hangarounds laughing it up as a couple of or like a bunch of guys that have the last word. So now I believe I heard a rumor here from pundits in Iceland a couple of weeks ago that Mourinho was already sacked, actually, but it wouldn't go through till the summer. And they were already starting talks with Nagelsmann and another one, most likely Sarri, I guess. But
please not Sarri. I really don't want.
No. It would be like I don't, and I didn't want to go there. I mean, it's just speculation. But this guy was actually he's like a guy that talks to agents and stuff, so he's pretty good connected. But
how many bloody Chelsea reject managers can we take?
Exactly. But I mean, if only they could perform like they did at Chelsea, then it might be worth it. But that's not the case anymore. But yeah, you saw Kane limping off, leaving it all on the pitch, giving us 2 goals. Because I think like what we saw tonight is like the players, Kane, Son was heartbroken, Lucas was heartbroken. These are the real players. These are the players we should give love and I love. And the laughing guys, sorry, that's the guys that if I gotta say, send the message directly to Kane, is like these teammates of yours, they've robbed you of probably countless trophies. If they had stepped up with Potts, and if they had stepped up now, we could have done completely different things. But you've been dragging them along, and they've been letting you down every single time. And tonight it was so clear. I was actually watching with a friend of mine who had been skeptical of my kind of calling out the French mafia and the English contingent as well, like Deli and Winks and stuff. And when we saw that shot, he screamed. He was like, "Geez, this is like," because guys, it's not that people can't have friends and be happy to see them and whatever. If Kane was to see his England mate walking off from this game, he would lift his head and smile, and then he would bow his head again and be consumed by the disappointment of the game. These guys, it wasn't that. They were standing around like they had all night, and they were exchanging jokes after jokes, So they're completely uninvested. And not only that, I feel like that was almost like a statement towards Mourinho, like, hey man, you're going out, we're staying, we had the last word, So
forget about Jose Mourinho. They are making a mockery of this fan base. We are watching this team week in, week out, expecting stuff week in, week out. We lose a game, we get all hyped up in the game, in the build up to the next game. You got players coming out on social media saying, "Oh, how I'm looking forward to the game. We're going to put in a shift this week," or whatever shit they're spouting on social media. Mm-hmm. They let us down all over again, week in, week out, and they have the nerve, they have the cheek to laugh on the pitch at us. Yeah. It's an absolute
complete
joke.
BS. I agree, Ben, and I would say, I could live with a bottom of the league team if I saw their heart and their fighting for the bats. If we were a poor club, let's say everything goes wrong for the next couple of years. Let's not hope that, but let's say that as long as I see these players like fighting for the bats, fighting for each other, believing in a plan with the manager and so on, then we can support him. We're stuck with a bunch of inflated egos that are ruining the careers of our superstars,
Yeah. So, what do you think? Yes. What do you think Kane will be thinking when he's trudging off like that? With a bit of an injured ankle and disappointing result, and he sees that. Even if he just sees the images of just the players laughing, when he knows our season or our top 4 hopes have gone up in smoke. Do you think that'll literally have made up his decision?
I don't think Kane's son and all of them are surprised by anything, of course, because they're behind the scenes. But I think Kane is furious, and I think Kane understands that this bunch of clowns have done it yet again. They've ruined his party once again. I'm not saying we would have won the league or anything. It's just the underperforming is consistent with this lot. And to be honest, in terms of the setup, I think it was kind of weird, but I also kind of saw the logic in it. if you're a manager like Mourinho now, and you don't trust anybody to defend for you, or maybe hardly trust anybody in the team anymore, except these guys that we saw got it working out, well, then you might think like best to stop the defense on the middle. Let's not get it down to the last third. And I think the middle was more about trying to move the defense up a line than anything else. So I can see it makes sense, but it also made us kind of weak going forward. Well, we were kind of static going forward and stuff. But I think we're way beyond that, and we've actually been beyond this. And we can now go into the League Cup final, and let's say we win it. That will confuse too many of the fan base, and they'll think it's something is okay or whatever. No, it's not okay. We're stuck in the consequences of a business plan gone wrong. Basically, this is Levy and their business plan not working out, and like many people have drawn parallels to Arsenal and stuff. That's kind of what we.
Oh. Was he cut off? I could hear him speaking.
I can hear him.
See you as well. Oh, my net.
Your
there's something gone wrong with your camera, Jory.
Okay.
Look, Jory, if you disconnect and reconnect, we might be getting you back on. But we do have to crack on.
Yeah, we've still got a lot of guests in the background, but let's keep cracking on. It's Cody Mac. Sorry, Cody, I'm not in the mood to sing your song tonight, but
I heard you were crying, Cody. Have you wiped away the tears?
Well, let's just clear the record. I got some dust in my eye for a second after the game there. Okay, that wasn't crying.
It wasn't nothing to do with Kane limping off then.
Listen, I love this channel, and I love Grandpa. I want to tell you, the first time that I ran into this channel, I had never watched anything to do with Tottenham. So I came on here and I followed Tottenham, and I think that the YouTube algorithm picked up that I was interested in this, and one of your videos came out, and I watched the post-match fan show. And right from the moment you guys had Grandpa on, I was completely hooked, and I think part of the reason is that when Grandpa speaks, he's very even keel, regardless of what's going on. If you didn't hear his words and only interpreted his tones, you wouldn't really be able to tell if we got smashed or if we went out and smashed them. And so that just gives me some perspective as a newer fan and this tough time that we're going through. When I think I've got it bad, the way that Grandpa speaks, you can just tell he's been through some shit, So
he's been through it all, trust me.
and you guys had Ian on from LA there, and he's so upset, and I am too. And it's funny because he's tripping over himself, being so upset, and then he goes off, and you guys, I don't know if you got to see in the back end, but as soon as he got off, he just went like he was just
we didn't see that, unfortunately. But that's a very
he was just completely drained. But here's what I'll say. So my wife gets home. I'm downstairs with the kids, and it's the 93rd minute. We're about to drop points to Everton, a poor Everton that doesn't have their best players. And I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I'm an avid golfer, and all winter long I have been just waiting for the golf season to come back because it's like that beacon of light at the end of the tunnel. And literally within a span of about 15 seconds. Okay, so Kane comes off injured. My wife opens the door and she says that Ontario is going into a stricter lockdown and golf is going to be canceled until May 20th. You could not write this shit. I am just getting kicked in the balls over and over and over. The Dulux dog was right. The Dulux dog was right.
We should have got that dog involved, I think. It definitely could have done a lot better job than a lot of our defending so far this season. But, obviously, we can all point blame as to who's more at fault for today's specific performance, but we all know there's a bigger picture here in terms of what's going on with this club. And, what do you think? Obviously, a lot of people talking about Lloris and Aurier laughing and joking with Digne at the end of the game. What were your thoughts on that? Was that disrespectful in your opinion, or was it just two players having a laugh and joke with an international teammate?
You know what? I'm kind of glad that happened, because that, it's a clear message. There's no more questioning whether or not these players are playing for us. These players are just fortunate that there are no fans in the stadium. That would never be happening if there were fans in the stadium, And I don't know, did you guys watch the pre-match pump up with David Harris?
We did.
So basically everything that I asked to see from this team today, we didn't get to see any of it. There's no fight. We don't. There's no hatred of losing. There's no cherishing of victory. There's just absolutely no fight, and it starts at the very top. It starts, and that's what pisses me off about that Dulux kerfuffle, is that we are basically getting bantered by our sponsor, our new sponsor, and instead of doing the right thing and cutting ties immediately, we make a joke of ourselves. So we are now a joke to everybody. At least before we were just a joke to rival fans and rival teams. Now we're just a fucking joke, starting at the very top, going all the way down to the players at the bottom. There's no fight in the board. There's no fight in the ownership. There's no fight in the manager. There's no fight in the players. The only fucking people that have fight are the people the people that are watching, It's like I said at halftime after that, what a ridiculous half of football. And the only person that deserves this season less than the fans is Harry Kane. And that's why I was upset on Matty Hayes' watch along, because at that time we hadn't found out that the injury wasn't suspected to be very serious. There was a general discussion going on that it was possibly the last time that we had seen Harry Kane in a Spurs shirt. And I just came on the show last week and said that I was just gonna enjoy what we had left of Harry Kane, because we've just been so fortunate to be able to watch him put that jersey on. And the thing is, he deserves so much more. And we've completely pissed away one of the best careers in Premier League history, And it's just they don't care, It just really hurts that they don't care, There's no denying that, and that to me, at least it's finite, it's concrete. You can see it on their faces. It's there for everybody to see that they just do not give a shit. So at least we don't have to make.
But Cody,
we don't have to ask ourselves that.
Cody, what's happened to someone like Hugo Lloris? Back end of last season, he's screaming at Heung-min Son. He's fighting with him because he's not running back. He's not working for the team. What has happened to this guy? And he's laughing on the pitch after the game today.
Yeah, honestly, I think even before the Zagreb outburst,
I'm not talking about the Zagreb outburst.
I'm just saying, for a while now, I think Hugo understands that he is on his way out. We talk about Sonny not signing his deal, but Lloris was offered a new contract as well. So there are several players who are coming into their last year of team control that have either not been offered contract or have denied offers, and those players obviously just don't have any fight left. But I thought Lloris was good today, aside from the obvious, and I think we're probably just we're in one of these areas as a football fan base where every consecutive shit thing that happens to us seems worse than the last thing. So in a vacuum, what happened at the end of that game with Lloris and Aurier and Digne is not a big deal. But in the context of the goddamn dumpster fire riddled with tumors that this club has become, right? This is why you're seeing fans disengage with the club, because when you're a dumpster fire, if you're a supporter of a dumpster fire, the closer you get to it, the more it burns. So the brighter this dumpster fire burns, the more fans are just being pushed away and away. And you're seeing it in the faces and the comments and the tones and everything. Like Marcelo, like it's just fucking sad. But you know what? We just don't have soul. We're a soulless club, and really the only positive that I can take is that we didn't concede a goal in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we weren't far off. Richarlison
That
definitely
really is
scored.
the only positive. It really is.
And Cody, before we let you go, just tell me where you all think this leaves Mourinho right now, going into the last 6 games of the season and a cup final. We're now 5 points behind West Ham with having played a game more. Where does these Spurs? Well, not Spurs because we don't really know that. But in terms of Mourinho, is his job now become untenable?
Well, I thought top 4 was done before today, so I'm not so fussed about top 4 anymore. The League Cup, it's difficult because if we go into that League Cup and these players show up, is it not even worse? Is it not even worse than if they didn't show up? Is it not even worse that they've just ceased playing in the Premier League and then suddenly they show up in the League Cup? Jose, I've spent a lot of time defending him, but I think that the game has passed him by, if that's my honest opinion, which means I probably put him in the bin, which also probably means that we won't do it. But if we do end up binning him off, I talked with David about this in the pre-match pump up that I thought Scotty Parker would be good, and I'm not going to back away from that because the exact scenario that Jory was talking about, where he just wants fight. Even if we are a relegation threatened team with no talent, and that is what I see in Fulham, and that is what attracts me to Scotty Parker. But I think that I would probably take Marcelo Bielsa, just like Marcelo, and the main reason is, after Jose, I just don't want a manager that can speak English. I really don't.
I tell you what, you're not far off, mate. Brilliant. But I kind of agree with you. I think that I've been talking a lot about Scott Parker this season, and I think that he's going the right way as a manager. But I do think that at the end of this season is a bit too soon for him. I think
the thing is,
to progress more as a manager.
If we sack Jose and that leads us to what should happen, which is okay. So there's 2 directions we can go. We're going to keep Jose 1 more year, give it a go, try and invest, give it 1 more go with him, or we're going to sack him, and we're looking at a complete rebuild, sell the players that are going to generate money, bring in the youth. That's the perfect time to bring a guy like Scotty Parker, right? That's just like when Poch came. Poch wasn't proven to be like a Champions League quality manager when we brought him in. He was a bright young mind, and the thing is, that would be the best time to bring in a manager like Scotty Parker, because we would be starting out with expectations that were reasonable. So it wouldn't be this situation where like we're in now, where it's like we all thought that we were going to be drinking champagne out of trophies at this point, and really all we've got to show for it is a chalice full of poison.
Yeah, no, look, Cody, we got to keep going, but thank you so much for coming on today, man.
Nice
and thank you guys. It really does make the people that come on here, and I hope that the people that watch it feel a little bit better. So it's nice to have a chat. So cheers, guys.
Exactly.
Glory.
Enjoy having you on, Cody.
Your Tottenham therapy,
glory.
Your Tottenham therapy session ends now. Your invoice will be in the post. Thank you so much, Cody.
Nice
I'll send an e-transfer.
Nice one, Cody.
Brad Matthews with another super chat says, I will be celebrating like a madman if we win next week, but it's not good enough. We should be challenging for titles. Billionaires, where are you?
Even if we win the cup next week, I'm still going to be super angry with the situation that's going on.
I agree. We're just... It's sad. It's just sad where
it's a sad state of affairs, and everyone could see it coming.
That's the saddest thing. We all knew. We all said this is going to happen, and then it's happened. And it's like, well, there's nothing we could do before our eyes about it happening.
Yeah.
And that's the saddest thing about it. And it's just hard. And it's like, it's weird because like we're coming off sitting at the end, like we're literally talking after a 2-2 draw away at Everton. And it's just speaks volumes, like, because like on the face of it, before the season, if I told you, oh, we're going to draw 2-2 at Everton, like no one's going to say that's the horrific result, but like, you know, just in the context of what's gone on and the way we approached the game and attacked in the game, it's like, we're feeling. I feel like we've been beaten 4-0 tonight.
Yeah, literally.
Literally, that's like the mood. We feel like we've been absolutely battered 4-0. When in essence, that wasn't it just wasn't the game we watched, but like that's the feeling we have, and that's what's been done to us as fans.
Yeah, well, I just want to let everyone know that Jose Mourinho's press conference is now up on the channel. So if you guys want to take a look, but I advise you guys to stay here because we've got Jack Konecki up next.
Exactly.
Jack, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing all right. It's Friday night, so I'm gonna try to rid myself of what we just witnessed as much as I can.
You know what, Jack? It's Friday night. It just means there's an extra day for the weekend for Spurs to ruin for me. Before it was just Saturday or Sunday. It was just one day, and now it's like I got Friday in there as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be great to see all the other teams win as well.
Oh God! I find it so hard to watch other teams play when Spurs have not got the result I want, and I can't even bring myself to look at it. But look,
that's what makes the Sunday games harder because we build ourselves up when all the teams lose and lose as well.
we're worse. Exactly. It's awful. But look, give me your thoughts on the current situation at the club. You know, Mourinho's looking like he's lost for ideas. He's playing a team where we've got so much quality on the pitch, and yet we've on the bench. Yet on the pitch, there's just absolutely no quality on the ball. We've got We've got Aurier and Lloris. Oh shit, we've got Aurier and Lloris laughing at the end of the game after our top four hopes have gone up in smoke. We've got Harry Kane limping off after the game with a potential injury, which could even rule him out for the final. Like, where are we right now, Jack? Talk to me.
I mean, you listed a lot of really important points of them. I mean, I really echo those.
You literally you asked him a question and gave him the answer.
But I mean, brilliantly stated, also very succinctly as well, very succinctly. I mean, at the end of the day, I think what's kind of embarrassing, or at least lucky, you could say for Jose, is the fact that he even got a point from this game. Because I feel like if Michael Keane didn't make those errors, that's 2-0, if not more. And there was really no other chances. It was one of the most boring games, at least for our end, I've ever seen us play. And I do not think that matching the three in the back was a right decision, especially just, you know, when we never practice it. It's just, I don't know if it's naive or just the classic Jose overestimating the opposition or over anticipating maybe. But I think he's even luckier to get away with a point. I think he's just really lucky to get away with a point because that's almost like you could almost see maybe a much worse reaction from maybe the players than the laughter. I almost kind of wish they lost in a sense because you wouldn't see that laughter that's making us even more frustrated.
In terms of that Jose Mourinho, in terms of the way he's set up today, I mean, I just feel it's just getting a bit like Russian roulette, who he's going to play at centre-back, what formation he's going to play. I mean, it's getting really, really tiresome and hard to watch. I mean, I say it's getting, but it's been like that for a while now. But where do we go from here? Seriously, where do we go from here? And how do we pick ourselves up?
I don't know how we pick ourselves up with Jose at the helm. I mean, if the players reject him at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of like mutiny. It's kind of like a ship. It's just too many people that are saying no to him for him to convince them or for us to rejuvenate ourselves. And so it's, you know, if he can't convince them, like you guys kind of said earlier, if he's paid whatever $260,000 a week and he can't convince them and he can't get them behind him, then it's unfortunate. It's just going to be a major loss, and we're just going to have to look elsewhere. I really love Jose. I still love Jose at the end of this, but if the players reject him and if they're kind of mutinying him like this, you just can't. The results are just going to continue to be carbon copies.
Do you think Jose could have been a success at this club, or do you think it was always doomed to fail?
I feel like I touched on it the other day. It was like I feel like it just wasn't the right match. I feel like if the club was investing, if we didn't want to be this sustainable kind of transfer policy, if we really wanted to invest a lot in the club, it would have been the perfect match. But we didn't have marquee world-class players at the helm that can think for their own and act on their own, and then also have Jose in their head to help them. We just didn't have that, and so it just wasn't the right match. And so I think it's a bad reflection of us, and I think it's also a bad reflection of Jose because I think it really does show. I don't know if he's capable of playing with mediocre players. And
as the great man Jack said once, I know he's from the opposite side, but as a great man once said, it's time to go.
He does need. I mean, it's I wish.
Yeah.
It's just I wish he could rejuvenate these kind of players. I wish he could, find a way to be a project manager. It's just if they really are rejecting him like this, I don't know what to tell you guys. I really don't.
Yeah, and when you have a bench consisting of so much quality like we did today, and when you have players on the pitch, like such defensive players, like you have a back five and Sissoko and Højbjerg on top of that, so a real pragmatic lack of quality on the pitch. How can he like, and then we put in the performance like we did in terms of no passing moves, no quality in our passing. So many times we're giving the ball away through poor passes, like no vision and things like that, and you have all that quality on the bench. How can he justify that? How can he justify that kind of football with the quality he has on the bench? How can I can't understand it.
You can't justify it when you look around the league. If you look at what other managers are making with a lot less, with the scintillating football that Brighton play, of course they can't finish and they outperform or they underperform their XG every single game by a huge margin. They still link up in an incredible way. Same with Marcelo Bielsa, the philosopher. He's able to make championship players play like Barcelona in certain moments, and he's also able to make them defend to the hilts against Man City. It's just, I don't know what to say. I mean, there are players that make that, or there are managers that can make do with a lot less.
Yeah.
And that's where I don't know if Jose can defend himself in that regard sometimes, especially in the Premier League, where it's a cutthroat league. I mean, if Bielsa came in, I don't think he will, because he is a project manager, and the people of Bilbao and the people of West Yorkshire love him, and I don't know if they're going to let go of him. But Ten Hag from Marcelo is a good shout out. I've heard Niko Kovac. That's a brilliant shout out. It's tough. German managers, are kind of trendy. It's hard to say. There are a lot of options, but if we're looking to be more defensively sound, I know Allegri's been looked over a long time, but he's always been defensively sound. The Italians are always known for that. I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of options.
Really
but they all have their
defensive
cons.
manager, though, Jack?
I don't want one, but some people are calling for that solidity. I'm just trying to, point out all the options. There's a lot there, but they all have their cons.
All right, Jack. Absolute pleasure as always, mate.
Nice to see you, Jack.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. All right, who we got next? The Joracle is back.
Yeah.
Is this the last one?
No, just do the rest of the Jory.
Okay. Yes, Jory, you're back.
Hello? Is he mute? Is he on mute?
No, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear
we
you.
can
Go
hear
on.
you now,
Okay.
yeah.
Great.
Where were we, Jory?
I don't know exactly, but I know I got a few
just
points.
like with the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, Jory, where do you think this all ends with Mourinho? Do you think he's a dead man walking at this moment in time?
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards this pundit that I listened to is right, that the deed has already been done, basically. Or maybe it's now, or maybe it's the final. I don't really think it makes that big of a difference. I just want to, in terms of Mourinho in and out and Potts and all of that, the truth is, what we gotta face as a fan group is if you got Kane and Son, like they've been these couple of years that we've had them now, and you got Ndombele, and you got Solso, and so on, Lucas as well. That's enough. Now you just need a team that shows up and is consistent. They don't need to be world class. That's enough for winning a ton load of stuff, So maybe it's not enough for winning the league, all right, but it's enough for winning stuff in Europe. It's enough for winning an FA Cup, whatever. So I think we just went through two of the most highly rated managers in recent football history, and they couldn't bring us anything. Doesn't that? And we have the like the most insane front attack in European football. I mean, up there with the best of them. And we're still doubting where the problem is. Of course, I agree that there's not much point, like you said, Ben. There's not much point going to another defensive manager. That's not gonna get a rise out of this gang. But nothing is what I'm trying to say here, you know. And we also, as a fan culture, need to maybe look a bit at ourselves, you know, because. You know, I'm hearing a lot of we've lost our identity and so on and so on. Listen, guys, our identity is the guy that flatters to deceive. You know, our identity is a guy in a $1,000 suit at the disco, but he lives in the basement at his mom's house. You know, that's the Spurs identity. You know, and that's the one. What we want to get away from, you know, we want to be serious about our football. We want to, of course, play entertaining football, but winning comes first. The way you win comes second. That's how we need to approach it. Now, I am in general in belief of like the kind of all-in poker approach, like most clubs play today, most of the competing clubs play today, is the better approach. But I also said before, and I also believe that you know there could be a really big breakthrough towards breaking down teams like clubs Liverpool and all of these teams with a more Mourinho-esque type approach to the game, you know. And I'm sure somebody will actually figure it out and have a season or two of winning everything, you know. Because these things go in cycles. These things are not. There's no unfallible system, you know. So
you saw it with Pochettino in the Champions League against Bayern in both legs. They were super pragmatic, and they were very much on the counter, relying on Neymar and Mbappe up front, and it worked for them over those 2 legs. So it showed in these games it can work.
Yeah, you see it now a little bit with the younger managers that they see, okay, you know, some stakes are too high. Sometimes you just need to get through this corner and then you can go on the straight again and open up. But I think there's been talk of Bielsa, you know, I would love to see a Bielsa if we have to change managers. I'm just fearing the whole changing managers, but I can promise you Bielsa would never work for Levy or this board. You know, Bielsa is a very romantic kind of everything that's going on that level would rub Bielsa the wrong way. You
Surely,
know,
if everyone's worried, if everyone's worried about Mourinho not lasting long in jobs and stuff like that, surely Bielsa's like even worse.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of trying to get at. If we can't get it done with Potts and we can't get it done with Mourinho, that's basically the best 2 of opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, in my view. What are we? So
we need to meet somewhere in the middle, Jory. We need to meet somewhere in the middle.
Middle, yeah. Yes, but and that's probably the answer, Ben. But before that, we need to do something about our board's approach to running this club. You know, that we can't get any further. We can't let Levy fancy some player, and then it turns out that, you know, whatever, a Sanchez or you know, whatever the situation can be. We need to, you know, we need to face ourselves first of all, both also as fans. We need to stop fawning over, you know, of course we love the overhead kick and we love the Rabonas and stuff like that we want that. I'm not saying we don't want that, but we shouldn't be bought and you know, bought and owned with that alone. You know, we should always have higher demands than that. Champagne football is great, but winning football is number 1, you know, and that's what we as fans need to have that that demand constantly from the board, and then hopefully we can instill that into some new players. I don't know. Like I'm really fearing when Mourinho goes, or if he goes, what that will mean. Like the domino that it'll set off. So for me, I can't see Mourinho going without it setting off a huge domino. To be honest.
Yeah,
and
do you think
not a good one.
And you think because Mourinho signing for Spurs was seen as like a sign of how big the club is getting in a way. Well, at the time, it was like seen as like a big statement, bringing Mourinho, a stature signing. And if he fails, which he has pretty much done as badly as he does, what kind of message does it send to new prospective managers who we might want?
Exactly, and like that's exactly how I took it at the time when Mourinho got it. Actually, I wasn't too happy, but I took it as the board. I kind of thought the board is being a little bit diluted now. They want to start playing, acting like they're Real Madrid or whatever, and get Mourinho in. But then I kind of saw something there, and then I kind of maybe they have true intentions, because the summer looked like. Levy looked like a different Levy this summer, but actually we also got a little bit deceived by the flattery there, because once we looked into the deal, so it wasn't really that much money that was spent compared to how much traffic there was, So
we got fooled yet again.
But I mean, I don't mind that.
Again.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, I would say, and that's what I said last time I was on with you guys with. Like if you have to kick your most popular manager or coach, like Pochettino, maybe you can get some cover by bringing Mourinho in. And I kind of feel like that's an ulterior motive in this whole thing. Of course, we're all, even Levy, everybody's hoping that everything will go well, but it needs more than hope, and it needs some real commitment, also in terms of money, Levy. So, and that's the thing. They're trying to run a sensible business, and that's not what football is about.
Yeah, agreed. I completely agree.
You know?
Jory, absolute pleasure getting you on as always, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Nice to see you, Jory.
Cheers, Jory.
Take care.
See you, mate.
See you later, mate.
Let's go from Aaron Stenlake says, Bale, another game out, makes me so frustrated from scoring 9 and 10 player ratings, 3 or 4 games, one bad half, and he pays. Let him run free. So tilted.
Hashtag free Bale. Let's get Bob Spur on. Yes, Bob. How's it going, mate? Are you on mute? Are you on mute, Bob?
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. You don't want to hear what I'm saying anyway, but fucking hell, man. Honestly. We need to cut out the bullshit, don't we, really?
Yeah.
We just need to cut it all out. It's Jose's failed. The end of it is I rang up about, because I wasn't sure when I rang you guys first time around. I think it was, so I had to look back, and it was September, October. I rang up and I initially had my say about Jose, how I'm not sure about it, and understandably, you fought your corner and you said give him time and everything. And look, but I did say one thing: I just want to be proved wrong, because I want Jose to go down as the best manager in Tottenham history, because it means a successful club for us. But he's failed. I'm sick and tired of him hiding behind average players. He was brought in to make these average players a bit better. What has he done right? A lot of people say, "Oh, made Kane a better player." Mate, you could have played Kane in centre back for the season. He still would have been your player of the season. And I find it very hard when he's messing up tactics around the pitch to then be given all the benefit for finding a world-class player in Kane. I just don't take it. I think a lot of it's down to Harry Kane probably having a word with Jose and saying, "Listen, this is my best position." His morality's not there. I think he's always gone down in my estimations from the time he blatantly lied on TV just to save his own face about Toby. It was a fact. It wasn't nothing alleged about it. It was a fact. I've never had the time for Aurier, and I've said this a couple of times, ever since he walked out half-time at Liverpool. He's probably still wearing the badge, and he walked out of the stadium wearing that badge. He lost all. Yeah, we're short in right backs and stuff like that. I don't give a shit. You don't walk out of your own club. It's the morality's just gone throughout the club, and there's some Spurs defenders out there, and you know what I'm like, guys, about opinions, and everyone's entitled to it, but I find it so hard now for anyone to defend Jose. I'm finding it really hard, and for me, get rid of him, get Ledley in, get a new manager bounce, and let's see, because the cups, the finals are a bit of a free run for us anyway. No one's expecting us to do anything. So get someone in, get rid of him, pay him whatever he wants. I know it's easier said than done, but it's going to be less than 30 million the way he's performed so far this season, and he's just not done anything. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I can't see what he's done this season. He's taken my Spurs away from me. He's taken my Spurs away, and I want it back, and I'm not going to get it back from Jose.
To be fair, I think that Spurs were taken away from us before Jose came in, and I just don't think Jose has made it any better.
No. We got to look at it realistically, Ben. I mean, we know the board's the issue, of course. Again, that's something that he's hiding behind to an extent, and these people who support him are hiding behind. The board haven't performed. We all know that board's a massive issue, but we can't do anything about that. The average players, we'll get rid of them, but we're not going to get rid of 8, 9 average players in one go. Remember, he's in total had 9 players brought him himself as well. He's just constantly deflecting his own downfalls and shortfalls by hiding behind, I can't say what I really want to say. By saying that, he said everything.
Yeah.
He has said everything by saying, I can't say it. He's basically saying my players are shit. And then he wants these same players to play for him. How does that work? He has not succeeded. And please, just say Bobby has actually, because I can't think of anything. No. What has he made better this season?
I completely agree with you, mate. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, and I think the main reason he's losing me, especially when I look at today, is just
because you backed him, didn't you, Sim? You had his back, mate.
Big time. Yeah, I still think that they're in under certain circumstances, like things could have gone differently. But I look at today's performance. I look at how we set up, and I look at the bench and how poor the quality was on the pitch. I remember talking to Ben and looking at the lineup. We were like, I'm not happy with this lineup. There's no quality there. There's no creativity. We've got Sissoko and Højbjerg and 5 defenders in the team. Where's the passing going to come from? Where's the creativity? And it was proven on the pitch, because there was absolutely no passing movement. There was no creativity. There was so many sloppy passes. How many times we played the ball straight to an Everton play or our play, or tried a quick first-time pass and it completely never came off? And when we have good quality players that we know can play football on the bench,
game changers.
Mate, what sort of tactical genius plays 3 at the back with Sissoko and Højbjerg in the middle in front of them
against Everton? What
sort of tactical genius does that?
What I said in the preview, this is a team that normally plays 1 up front. The most potent striker is out injured. Mm-hmm. Yep. The drive in the midfield is Decore. He's out injured. Yet you're still playing with 2 defensive midfielders and 3 centre-backs. And I did say as well in my preview, I really hope, I said it to Dave, I got cut off, but I really hope that Rodon or one of the back 3 will actually come out and give us a bit of time, because there's no reason for Harry to come back so deep when he's got so many defenders around. Why constantly come deep? We'll get someone from the back 3 to come forward. Rodon being so well on the ball, just come up and give us support in the midfield, and then let Kane and Son. But the tactics were just all wrong and so negative.
Look what happened when Lamela and Lucas came on. Look what happened. Change the game.
Exactly.
We were all of a sudden on the front foot. We got a goal. We could have even won it, and it just goes to show what could have happened if we started the game on the front foot instead of just full of fear.
I'm at a loss.
And that's what really, really frustrated me. Because yes, I think we can all agree our defensive players are average and not good enough, and they're gonna and they cost us a lot. But our attacking players are up there with the best in the league, and I don't think I think most people can acknowledge that. And I think when we're playing a game like today, like we should have been putting the game to Everton. We should have been. We should have taken the game by the scruff of the neck. We got so many good attacking players to hurt Everton. They should be worrying about us, and we spent the whole time worrying about them.
Sim, it's not just today's game, mate. We should be attacking every single with our attacking prowess, mate. Sonny, Kane, Bale, Lucas, Lamella. I don't think of, but Lamella, and Dembele, the attacking prowess at form, the Celso. With that, we should be out there attacking every single team. Yes, with the likes of Man City and probably Liverpool an exception, but we should be showing a bit of attacking intent. And to be fair, we have done at home against Man City and possibly away against Liverpool. We showed a bit of attacking intent.
Bob,
that was
it's a handful of performances. It's a handful of performances this season.
No. Well, he has failed, mate. I'd love to tell you. I'd love to tell you. I'd love you to tell me one thing that Jose has succeeded in, because I can't think of anything. And I want to be proved wrong. Tell me what he succeeded in this season.
He's made us hate. He's made us hate. You know what I mean? Like I'm at a loss. I literally hate everyone. I hate the board. I hate the manager. I hate the players. He has made me. Well, I'm not saying it's just his fault, because it's not.
No.
But
I
remember how depressed we were. Like, you remember going up to Brighton, losing 3-0. Like, how depressed we were going week in, week out in those games. We were really depressed.
Yes, but I never hated the players. Then.
It's continuous.
I did start. I think you did. I never hated the manager though.
No, but where's the new manager bounce? Oh no, it's just. No, it's just not worth it. I'm oblivious to it all now, mate. And like I say, it's I can't give him. I've always given him benefit of the doubt, and I've always done that with opinions. I'll take it, but there's no way. So I'll fight my corner when I think I'm right. I'll fight my corner. I'm fighting my corner now.
Bob, I tell you what, when Pochettino got sacked, I said I do not want this manager in. That's what I said. When he came in, I gave him full support. I gave him 100% full support, and I think I've been proved right. I really have. I think I've been proved right.
Yeah. Same him. I'm from the same hymn sheet as well, mate. I wasn't too sure about it, but everyone can. There's that whole thing of hindsight. You've been saying that, but you guys know I've been saying it since September, October. I had my doubts, and it's so unfortunate. And I'm take no joy in saying that. Unfortunately, I've been proved wrong, because one thing I stated, I want to be proved wrong. I want to. Yeah,
we all have one love, and that one love is Tottenham Hotspur. You know what I mean? No player, no manager, no one is bigger than the club.
And that's it.
And that's it.
All right, Bob.
I'm looking forward to seeing you next weekend. That's the next thing,
mate. Come on, you Spurs.
Looking forward to that, mate. All right.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
And
is
this
the last call of the day. Big up the Irish Hotspur. Fantastic show again in the build-up to the game today.
If only the Spurs players were listening in. Maybe they would have got pumped up.
They need to have your pre-match pump-up show live in the dressing room. That's what they need.
I'm telling you, look, to be honest with you, I want to be in that dressing room, because there's a lot of these players I will be grabbing by the scruff of the neck. And look, first of all, I want to say this. Look, I've given Jose Mourinho my full backing, 100% support. No one can doubt that. But honestly, for what I've seen today, he's done. He's done out here. I can't back him anymore. I just can't. For me, look.
And when that comes from you, David, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Both of you, and me, to be honest, because I heavily backed him this season. I heavily backed him.
No, look, a lot of us did. And look, for me, I think we had every right to back him, to be honest, because I'm not being smart, but the problems were here before he came here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The problems were here. The writing was on the wall. Pochettino was giving us sound bites in press conferences. You know what I mean? And ultimately, a lot of these same players fell Pochettino. I've never hated a group of players as much as I hate this group. And I don't care what manager is in charge. Nothing is happening until this squad is rotated. I've stated that so many times. Nothing is changing. But back to Mourinho, just quickly, lads, because I know you don't want to be here all night. I know you have homes to go to and stuff David, like that.
Please.
But look, it's my belief that today's interview by Paul Pogba actually influenced our team selection. And when that starts happening, it's over, because he came out and said today. He came out and said about the outcasted players. You know what I mean? When you're not in the starting 11, your outcast and basically hinted that Mourinho doesn't talk to you, this, that, and the other. That comes out, all of a sudden, Toby Alderweireld loses his offer back in the team. And for me, it's clear as day, that was him, Jose Mourinho, trying to say to the press, well, that's not the case. It's all lies. I'm going to play these. To be honest, I would have rather him stuck to his guns today. To be honest, I'm not seeing Moussa Sissoko. And Toby Alderweireld, I would have actually liked to see him, to be honest. But Moussa Sissoko. But that interview there today has influenced our team selection. It influenced how we set up today. As soon as the lineup came out with the 3 across the back, 2 full backs, look, I'm in the middle of the show. I didn't want to say it, but I was kind of in the back of my head. I was thinking, something. It just doesn't look right here today. It just doesn't look right. And for me, look, I genuinely do believe that Jose has tried everything. I think he's tried everything with his knowledge and mixing up formations. I believe he's tried everything with this team. But ultimately, look, if 2 managers can't get a response out of this team, no matter what manager comes in, it is dark days ahead. It is dark days ahead until this squad is rotated.
Yeah. In terms of the way we go from here, in terms of sacking Jose or keeping Jose on or whatever it may be, I mean, either way, aren't we in for a long ride? Because if Jose stays, I mean, we've got this football to deal with. We don't know if he can get a tune out of, even if he does bring players in. If we sack him, we've still got this rebuild to do, but we've still got a new manager to come in to wean out the deadwood yet again. I mean, which way do we go, and which way is the fastest way back to where we want to be?
Being honest, I think the fastest way is rolling the dice one more year with Mourinho and rotating the squad by 6 players out, 6 players in. I think that is the quickest way. But in terms of where do we go from here, to be honest with you lads, it's of my opinion that we need to write down exactly what got us to this situation. Well, I want to give Enoch a bit of praise, right? Now with the stadium, the training complex and everything else, they built it up there. But what needs to happen now is we cannot operate on that business model anymore. That business model has to change. And we're at a point now where, first of all, whatever the club decides to do after this, it's going to show us fans their ambition more than ever before. More than ever before. But in terms of what we need to do is we need to change the business model. We need to roll the dice. We need to either go with the big boys and start acting like big boys instead of trying to be pretenders coming in on this little budget, you know what I mean? And bringing in, trying to get managers in and cover things up. We need to stop acting like that. We need to now either act like big boys, bring in some of the world's best players, even identify the best world up-and-coming players. We've had this academy for years. Being honest with you, lads, it doesn't really produce too much for our first team. And we need to change the whole football structure side of this of how we operate, or we stick with these players and the board believes in these players and they bring in a manager who they think is going to get better out of these players.
Who believes in this pile of dross we've got at the moment, though? Who can physically believe in that?
No, nobody. Look, I'm one of the most positive Spurs fans you'll find. I can't even find a positive out of today, lads. I cannot find one.
And that's even after a 2-2 draw. We didn't even lose.
I don't know how you think our prediction right again, but that's neither here nor there. Because ultimately we didn't get to
Doesn't he have the same hair every game, David?
No, he had a fresh cut today, lad. He had a fresh cut today. He did. He had a fresh cut. As soon as I seen a fresh cut and matted to his head, I said he's going to score an assist or there's 2 goals coming, one or the other. And 2 goal contributions. 2 great goals, may I add. But no, look, lads, honestly, this is dark times ahead. But I just want to say, I know this is a bit of a mixed message because, look, I know none of us believe in this squad anymore. I know none of us believe in Mourinho. I know none of us believe in the board. One thing I will say is us fans deserve that day out at Wembley next weekend. We deserve that for all the shit that we put up with. And I just want to say to everybody out there, after the Southampton game, come the Friday and Saturday and Sunday, I just ask every single fan to get behind this team, behind the players, just for one game. Just one game this season. We can go straight back to everything else we want to talk about after it. Just for one game, we just get behind this team fully, unite as one fan base and get behind the team fully and enjoy your day out. After the game, we can sit there and we can drink our sorrows away and whatever else, or we can sit there and celebrate for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I'm just asking for one game. Can we all unite as one fan base and just back the team for one game? Because if anyone deserves it, it's us fans. It's us fans. And I just hope as well with the players that they get it for one game, that they say, look, for the fans, for the shit they've had to put up with, you know what I mean, that we're going to give it all for that one game. That's what I hope. In terms of these players laughing there tonight, I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable. We are having an absolute dire campaign. We are in a dire situation from all the promise it was to where we are now.
And we have dire at the back.
Our Champions League top 4 hopes was the nails finally put into the coffin tonight on that. Finally put into the coffin tonight. And they're standing there laughing. Now, I'm sorry. I would much rather go back to the old days where they're that pissed off, they walk off, don't shake off hands. That's what I want to see, especially at times like this. The players are taking us for a ride. The board are taking us for a ride. This pain has to end at some stage. It has to end.
100%. Look, David, I 100% feel you, but I think that message that you said about everyone pulling together for that cup final, I think is a very, very important message. And I think it's something that needs to get across to this fan base. We need to pull together as one. We need to give the team as much support as they can because, after that game, they not might care if they've won the cup or not, but it bloody will care. It'll matter to us, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this final because I've just got a sneaky feeling. I've just got that sneaky feeling.
Oh, don't do this.
I've got the sneaky feeling that it's just so doom and gloom. It's just so doom and gloom. And when you least expect it, something can happen.
And then Mourinho will turn around and say, I did my job. And then he'll leave saying,
I don't care what I don't care. After the final, I like David said, I'm going to go back to berating them. But for that weekend, we have to back the team. We have to just come out with all support. We have to show them the positivity. I think, David, you said it absolutely spot on.
No, look, 100%. Look, for the next few days between now and the Southampton game, whatever we need to say, get it off your chest.
Yeah.
And just for then, from Friday to the Sunday, just support. Because us fans deserve to actually enjoy that game. We actually deserve to go in with a bit of optimism. And to be honest with you, Ben, I've been thinking similar. And I actually texted you and said that to you already, about that. I do have that sneaky suspicion like you that with all this shit, surely there has to be, a piece of gold at the end or a trophy, a trophy at the end. There has to be. There has to be. And look, up until that cup final, I don't care whether people want to call me deluded. I am going to firmly believe that until the cup final is over. After that, cane me all you want. But I'm ignoring everybody until that cup final is over, and I want to hold on to that belief we can win. And I think everybody else should too. Just get that positive vibes for 1 week. And look, who knows who's going to be over there for the final next week?
Who knows?
Oh, has he crashed? Oh, no, he's there.
But look, David, absolute pleasure as always getting you on, and we shall speak soon.
100%, lads. I'll talk to you soon, and I hope everybody enjoyed the pre-match pump-up today.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did, David. And and everyone, you'll see David again for the pre-match pump-up on Wednesday.
100%.
So come on, Dave.
Oh, go on,
bring him back on. Bring him back on.
Go on.
I'm 2 subs off reaching 1,800 subscribers. So with the massive We Are Tottenham TV army out there, I'm asking for 2 of you generous kind folks to get over and hit me to 1,800.
At least just give me some. Look, guys, there's 959 people watching. He's only asking for 2. Why don't all 958 of you go over and subscribe to his channel? Come on.
You go over, and I'm going to be following. I'm going to be checking up. I'm going to be looking up if all 900 of you have done it. But go over to Irish Hotspur and subscribe to the channel. Great Tottenham content. And let's support. Have
you hit it yet, David? Have you hit it yet?
I don't know, to be honest, because I'm doing this on my phone, so I'll check on my phone after. But I'm sure I will. It's the power that We Are Tottenham TV army. Look, lads, I know today's disappointed. I have actually hit it there now. Thank you so much, David. Really good, appreciate it. I'm absolutely delighted. Look, like I said, dark times, but just let's get behind them for the cup final. Big up to the 2 lads. Big up to everybody. But behind the 2 lads that help create these streams. And look, it's therapy that's much needed. So thank you very much, lads. and I'll see you Wednesday.
Big
Nice
yourself
one,
up, David. We'll speak
See you
to
in
you
a
soon,
bit, mate.
All right, so that is it. Another grueling 2 hours of Tottenham therapy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We're back tomorrow morning with the morning after show. If you want to check out every word that Jose Mourinho has said in the press conference, do go onto the channel. It's uploaded right now, as well as all of John and Slav's fan cams as well.
And we're going to be looking at the press conference tomorrow morning on the morning after show.
We'll be looking at the press conference tomorrow.
We haven't seen it. I
morning.
don't know what he said, actually. I've got no idea. We're
I know,
reacting to it live.
I've seen a few snippets.
I'm going to be reacting to it live tomorrow.
We'll react to it live tomorrow morning. Thank you, everyone. Over and out. Good night to you all. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.